Okay. I think we're ready for a story. It began in April 2010. A little before that, let's say, I thought of a great line outside, and now I forget. What led to one of the most wonderful discoveries in my life of furries, of the concept, was a moving mouth, much like this one. So this is the story. I was thinking there for a minute. Back in April of 2010, not that long ago, I had just before that only seen one furry thing at all. I've never seen any fursuiters or any of that sort of stuff. Sure, there's been anthropomorphic art for a long time, but not really what us furries do. I've never seen us. And so the only exposure was that Animal Planet show. I think it was Animal Planet. And here's amongst all these people that do all these things to their body and stuff like that. And in this middle, this little tiny segment in the middle, was us furries in fursuit. Like as if we were weird. And I was brought up that wanting to be part animal was wrong. We're supposed to be above the animals. And we're still an animal. Simple as that. So it's not that far-fetched, but this is really just, it's art, it's culture, and it's a sort of clothing, dressing up like something, a costume. So there wasn't anything unusual about it at all. So that video was misleading, but fortunately I'm not prejudiced. So I always investigate as much as I can. So not too long after that video, I was browsing the web, looking at masks and all that sort of stuff, and ran into some YouTube videos from North Fur. One video stood out in my head, drove me bonkers. And it was a fully formed, sized head that they made, which, looking back now, was obviously made for us furries and others. You know, it's probably very expensive. So the mouth just drove me nuts. Until then, masks and whatnot just did not have moving mouths, as far as I knew. So that was a breakthrough. And wow, so I looked at the company, saw their stuff, and saw the one word, fursuit. Looked it up on Wikipedia, first thing. And then it's a fursuits made by, are worn by furries. Well, okay, look that up too on Wikipedia. And just more and more and more information and videos and photographs, and oh wow, the world opened up. This huge, incredible society was discovered. This culture. And as they say, the rest is history. So much has changed. I found a part of me. I found something to do that I love. I love it. All the aspects. Making my own fursuit. Wearing it. Going fursuiting on fursuiting outings. Fursuit bowling. You know, bowling sort of kind of a boring sport. Not that boring, by the way. But wow, doing it in fursuit changes everything. Wow. So here I am, coming full circle in that I have now made, finally, a moving mouth that works with the head. I do have to remember to exaggerate my mouth movements a little bit, but still, wow. So now the status at this point is, as I probably said in another video, this is a work in progress. Blue belly, blue cheeks instead of the white. I'll be testing it to see, to tie this dark colored body up into the head for a fox, a leopard fox, new species or something, I don't know. You call it a hybrid, who cares? Wow. So I don't have the teeth put in. I'm going to make some nice little teeth because I found I like to do a little bit of you know, making things. Made these claws, made these paws, made this suit body. Oh man, is it comfortable? Wow. Oh, everyone says, but it's a fursuit. It's going to be hotter than holy hell. It's warmer. Yeah. So I don't have to use the heater in the house. I can sleep in it comfortable. Get up in the morning. I don't have to face a cold house. The heater can go like crazy, but it'll still, can you imagine, you know? So, it's an excuse. So, wow, you know, here we are. I've made not one, but 2 fursuits, myself, scrounging as best I can to find what I could. And I may have bought this head, but I want to help it to be more premium, more my style of design, you know, and so I've been going through some modifications to make it work better for me. Unfortunately, that does include the eye screens are very open for better vision, which is very important because it helps to compensate for my hearing problem. And speaking of moving mouths, that's how I could tell those four fursuiters at the picnic with a non-fursuiter were having conversations. They're sitting there and talking to each other and having no problem at all. I was upset. I thought they would have hearing problems. They have none. Just means if somebody's talking over here, you don't realize it. Somebody has to poke you and say, hey, there's a guy talking over here. Well, that happens with this hard of hearing all the time. But they were just talking away, and they were not having any hearing problems, because when you do, you go moving forward like this. Try to get closer, and so forth, and repeats and whatnot. There was no indication. They talked just fine. Sheesh. So here I am. Maybe the only severe hearing loss / deaf fursuiter in the San Francisco Bay Area. And so then I get this lovely little chorus. I'm off track here. This is about the moving mouth and my furry discovery, but anyhow, yeah. Randy, you have to have an escort because you're hard of hearing, blah, 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 blah. Oh, please. Yes, I do. I knew that. I wanted that. I am having a nightmare time finding somebody to. But I'm dealing with anxiety disorder, I'm trying to get the courage to do things. And that means asking, finding people in this area, talking with them and trying to do a good job of it too somehow. I met two, didn't come out because both were young and they expected me to be young or something. I don't know. Kids. Yeah. I love you. Yes. So, yeah. I can get to do the nom-nom jokes. Yeah. Where's the mouth? There it is. Like that? Yeah. Yeah, no teeth. Yeah. Well, I'm a senior citizen. I have no teeth, as the joke goes. So I can say, all right, I'm just a senile old goat, and I got gums and everything. My false teeth, I left them at home. Ha, false fangs. Oh, wow. Anywho, I did that for the camera. It was funny. So, yeah, I do know a lot about, this is not a video interview as much as I wish it was, for voiceover work and so forth, but I'm familiar with to speak clearly at all times for the camera, and in fursuit also to be a little more articulate. Not just sit there and talk like this, but to actually, motion is important. It makes it work better, and it's so much fun to actually start being a playful character. Normally in life, I'm just so shy. A lot of us furries, fursuiters, are shy persons. We put on the fursuit, bam. We can start being, in a way, ourselves more, and to have fun being that character. Federation Fox, yeah, it's a work in progress as a character. Excelsior is too. Not sure where to take him. Tried the gravelly old man voice, hated it, won't do that again. Have you done, kids? You know, as a lion, a gravelly, rough voice sounds very lion-like, but yeah. My Federation Fox, it's a Star Trek thing. I might have gone with Trek Fox or something, I don't know, but I just went with Federation Fox. So, again, it mostly will be me, but there will be a lot of playfulness added because being from a furry planet, we're playful. We're not reserved and refined and restrictive and blah 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 like a lot of American society. I still like that culture. Not the restraining other people bullcrap, but the refined, cultured behavior. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to do when you're broke, unemployed, don't have a suit, regular suit, not a fur suit. Can you imagine me trying to do a regular suit? I keep saying, I got to put some fur in there somewhere, you know. Man, it's an executive dress suit. You do not put fur on a dress suit. But I got to have a little in there somewhere, you know. Crude seams, weird stuff like that. Not a good tailor. Anyway, but it's neat. If I had practice, I could do voice acting and kicking into, and now for the news. We have today a new culture that we have discovered. We were examining the entire Bay Area and we came across the San Jose Convention Center in January, and here's these guys, these unusual persons, and they're called furries. I think that was not quite an announcer. You know, I could go for booming. And now for the news. Projecting Going deep? Well, not that deep. And other things. Excuse me. Ha. Being funny there. Let's see. I don't do phony accents like a Harvard one or is it Yale? I never can tell them apart. Yale, Harvard, Oxford, who cares? Indeed. Well, anyway, hard to do that one. Hard to do a lot. I have to practice. But what would Federation Fox sound like outside like me? I've got to be different. The more different our characters are, the more fun. So, oh, woo, yeah, that's going to be a fun one. What the Star Trek universe and the United Federation of Planets, is very, in a way, the core of it is a very serious code of conduct and so forth. So when you go for that Starfleet stuff, you can't really be all that wild. You have to be more, you have to put on your best face, your best front. And so therefore, it's a little hard to let that character go crazy. So, but I'm a furry from a fur planet, Furtopia or some name like that. We'll figure one name out. And so we just a wee bit playful. I could do for a foreign accent and they say, oh, he lives with a bunch of Irish furs. Yeah, oops. Irish furs. That sounds like, was that Swedish now? That's about as much Swedish I know from the Swedish chef. And on my mother's other side is the Shermans. And so I have maybe Scandinavian, Swedish blood, and German, which the German accent is difficult without a voice coach to create that wonderful, how would you say wonderful? That wonderful, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. What else? I'm trying to do voices, you know. I'm trying. Yeah, if I could remember the line. So the price is right, they go and say, okay, Johnny, what do you have for us? Well, I forgot the guy's name. Well, we have this lovely fan from Williams-Sonoma. No, how would the voice be done? We have this lovely fan from Williams-Sonoma. It is a white plastic. It has multiple speeds and is capable of blowing it. It could be for you if that price is right. That doesn't sound right, but not a good announcer voice. Okay, great, wonderful, lovely. Radio voice, whatever. And down to the ocean front. I'm going to call it quits while I'm ahead. I'm just having, I was doing so great this morning, and now a friend of mine online is going through a crisis. It just turned my heart out. So I'm back to having difficulties again. I was finally feeling a little better. But I'm there for her. I'm there for a lot of people. But I'm also trying to be there for myself, because I've got, as Randolph Garrett, got my life fixed. And part of it is going out fursuiting. I love it. It makes me feel better. It's great therapy. But I have to have a handler. I don't know it in the area, and I go to ask a question, I freeze up. I can't ask the question. Where are you from? Or blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. Nothing. Anything that, if I said this statement, that statement, which would then prompt the person to reveal where they live, and they say, oh, you know, I am out in the area. If it leads to that, again, I freeze up. My anxiety kicks in, and I can't answer the question. I sit there and fight it. I fight it, try to say something. Locked up tight as a drum. So, well, 2 for 1 there. 1, the story that started with the moving mouth, and how I discovered furries fursuiting. 2, a random bouncing around all over the place type of thing that's very typical for me. Now, if I had a script, posted it, would have followed it just fine. Which is how you do speeches. Speaking of which, I'm dying to try and find out. Get up on the podium, make a speech to the crowd, entertain the folks, discuss a product or something to sell, or something being talked about. All those things. I think I have the courage to do that. I've had the lessons, so I should do okay. But right now, I'm being so silly letting this go on. I've got to stop this tape. So, this is Federation Fox, signing off.